2 seconds, but I did start the stream and it ended the stream on me. So, and that's for, I think it has something to do with like YouTube and the fact that it doesn't allow me to type in the stream name. I have to physically go into YouTube and change the name, and I don't know why. But that's just YouTube's policy, I guess. So, if you're new here, please drop the follow. This is my Monday. I spilled the tea. So, we are going to kind of just discuss how the week's gone, what's happened, and see how your guys' Monday has gone so far. I do want to talk about the internet. So that way we have a general understanding of what has happened over last week. So that way we kind of know what's going on. So the reason last week didn't really work out the best is, as you guys kind of know, we were in, some of you that have followed me for a while and have watched my streams and stuff, then thank you for the follow. Then you kind of know that I had some internet issues going on. And those internet issues resulted in me not being able to like stream very long, and then it would cut me out and so on and so forth. So we had to basically get like not new internet because we are still through the same provider. We just had to get new equipment because we found out that the equipment that we had was um at first we thought it was on us, like something happened with the wire out here, but it turned out that we narrowed it down to it being their equipment. One of the little extenders that they gave us for outdoors had actually like some sort of faulty node, and it was interfering with all of, like, it's crazy to think how it actually interferes with the entirety of the internet itself. So that was kind of a thing. We did have, however, that happened. We thought it was originally the storm that kind of caused all of that. We were like, man, the storm really messed up the internet, but that was not what happened. So that was a thing. And then after that, we were like, okay, got the decos. The decos, if you guys have like a large property or a lot of property that you're trying to cover, then decos I 100% recommend. They run 100 times better than I feel like standard equipment in general. Um, each one of the little single decos actually it can hold, just one little tiny deco can hold up to 400 devices. So we have a lot of stuff that connects to the internet around here. Like we have a washer and dryer that connects to the internet. We have a smoker. There are multiple Xboxes, one PlayStation, multiple computers, multiple things connect to this, like TVs, tablets, all kinds of stuff. And the deco has been the way to go. And, you know, if you have property, the outdoor extenders are a good thing to grab as well. That helps give you, because it creates a mesh, and you can create a 360 mesh instead of a 180, like most internet providers will give you like a 180 if you have an outdoor extender or something. It'll just give you 180 coverage and not 360. So this actually creates a mesh. So if one deco goes off, then it keeps doing, think of it like a hamster wheel. It just keeps running in that same circle over and over and over again. So that's kind of what it does for us. Now, I do want to talk about well, I guess Watsonberry didn't want to stay a follower. Oh, that's okay. I guess they only went live like 2 weeks ago or something. Weird. But anyway, decos are the way to go. And I just want to talk to you about that. So I do apologize. We had some issues with our stuff, and I was not intending on this going to. I was not intending on this really creating so much of an issue as it did, but it kind of was like, it was a nightmare. It was really a nightmare. I'm actually trying to edit my stream title on Twitch right now because it didn't update, and there's something going on with that, and I gotta figure out. Because it's even in the wrong category. So, I'm sorry, I just wanted to update and make sure I get the right labels in this so that way I don't get any sort of, and I don't get in trouble for it. So that happened, but we got the decos up this weekend, and it seems like from Saturday to today, Monday, it has ran pretty smooth. We didn't do our Saturday stream in the morning because, or like mid-afternoon like I had intended, because we weren't sure how this was going to work, and we didn't get it fully set up until about like 5 o'clock. So that was the thing. And then, okay, guys, if you have followed me for a while, then you kind of already know that I have this way about me. If one thing's going to happen, then another thing's going to happen, and another thing's going to happen. And you will get to know this as we go on in this journey together. You'll understand. So, all right. I was actually like, okay, we got the decos under control. Well, I was like, well, while I'm waiting for these decos and like all this stuff to be fixed, how about I do some editing until my next scheduled time? So I'm like, yeah, let's do that. So I started to go to edit. And then I registered that my stream didn't go live on Kick. And I was like, huh, I was just live last night and it didn't even show up. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Maybe I just need to turn it on and I forgot to connect it or something weird, like something crazy like that. Except that's not quite what happened. So I was like, well, hold on, let me check YouTube. Well, I still had my YouTube. And so that didn't make sense to me. Well, then, because I didn't, have that completely like up and going, I was like, okay, well, I'll just figure this out with Kick, because I'm sure it's something on Kick's end, because I went live on YouTube, I went live on Twitch, I was live on, other parts of my network, so I wasn't quite sure on what as to why. Well, guys, I messaged Kick. I'm like, hey, I haven't gone live. I couldn't get live apparently, and they're like, oh, okay, well, let's check and see what's going on. Well, I started to go through and scroll through and look at things, and my whole channel was down. Like my videos, I couldn't view them. They could, I couldn't. I was like, what in the, like, I was actually on fire this day in particular. So I was like, okay, guys, what in the world? So they're like, yeah, we could see your videos, and no, you're right, you didn't go live last night, and it looks like everything's working on our end. So I thought I was like banned for something that I did not mean to do. I was like, did I say something wrong? Did I post something in the wrong category? That's why I was panicking just now, like making sure I put this in the correct category. Because I didn't want this to be, because yes, I am in Apex, but unless I go live, like, from my tablet or my phone, then you're just going to be, there's nothing really that wonderful. And I kind of want to I do want to talk a little bit about the update on what's going to happen in Apex. So I guess it's kind of Apex related-ish. So, I thought, well, let's just think about this for a minute. Like, I wasn't 100% on this. I wasn't. I wasn't like sure. I don't know. Like, I guess I just wasn't convinced that this was Oh, I am so sorry. I got caught off guard on this. So, I did. I had like all of these like little things come up, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess what I could do on this situation would be to rightly, you know, I'll contact Kick, and then when Kick told me all of this stuff, it wasn't on them, it was on me, and something that I'm streaming through, and to try a different browser. I'm like, well, I can't, because how do you try a different browser? Like, the only browser I have is my Xbox browser. And I mean, I have my tablet, and yeah, I have, access to computers and stuff like that. But the problem that I'm having is it's my tablet, and I'm on my Chrome browser, and I'm viewing it in desktop, and it's not showing up. So I tried it in the app, it's not showing up. I tried it from my Safari app, it's not showing up. I'm trying it from different, so I'm like, you know what? It's something. I'll just figure this out another day. And this was on Friday. Saturday rolls around, and I finally came to the conclusion, because I was like, maybe something's up with Streamlabs, because that's the only thing. But I was like, how could it affect my Kick app and not being able to view my older content? I still don't know that why or how or what or whatever. But however that affected that, I don't know. But that is crazy. So I decided, okay, well, you know what, guys? That's fine. I get it. You guys are telling me something here, and you're telling me now that this is, this is it. I'm not, and so I'm upset. I can't tell you how upset I was. Well, you guys can probably imagine. You guys would be upset too. And if you say you're not, or you wouldn't be, like, I don't know how you wouldn't be. So I was like, I cannot even view my Kick. I can't even clip videos or do anything on my Kick and update or anything, because I can't even access the dang thing. So I'm mad. I'm like, whatever. So I was like, I checked Streamlabs. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try Streamlabs and see what Streamlabs has to offer. How can they fix this? How could this be amended? What is going on? So I look, and everything's connected. Everything's showing up that it's properly, locked in, and it's ready to go. And I'm still not convinced that it's not them, because at this point, I've tried Kick, it's not them. I've tried different browsers, it's not that. I don't know. But the guy or the girl or whoever helped me at that time in the Kick, they were able to screenshot my profile and show me that everything looked good. And I was like, okay, well, that solves part of it, but that's not helping. So I tried, and I reached out to Streamlabs. And I was like, okay, well, I started looking at my billing history, like kind of looking at it to see what exactly is going on. So because I wasn't so convinced about a situation, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something real quick. So I look at my billing history, and I'm like, I didn't see my bill come out. And I'm like, that's really weird. So I started looking through my bank history and I noticed that Streamlabs never pulled. I'm like, what in the world? So I'm like, why is that? So I reached out to Streamlabs and I was like, hey, I noticed that, my bill hasn't been pulled. And they were like, of course they're bought. I'm trying to pay my bill, okay? I don't want anything to do with I don't care so much about I don't care about like the fact that I had to talk to their chatbot, which is not a problem, but the chatbot was not helpful. And it's like, okay, I get it, but you guys literally have a chatbot. And I tried to pay my subscription and I tried to pay for it, like, because I'm doing a monthly trial here because I want to make sure I really like it before I commit to a year of it. Like, I want to make sure it's going to be good and, like, things are going to go the way that I'm anticipating. And then this happened. So I tried to pay my subscription. It won't let me. I'm like, okay, it's asking me if I want to cancel. I'm like, no, I don't want to cancel. I would like to just make a payment. So the bot comes back and is like, no, sorry, can't do that. I'm like, what? It's like, oh, we'll open up a ticket for you. I'm like, okay, so just to check my email. So I wait and I wait, and finally they get back to me. And they explain to me, oh, well, because you need to update your payment. Well, right? Like, I get that. I understand that, and I did that. But it's still not allowing me to make the payment. And they just gave me like this huge textbook answer. And I'm just like, so you cannot help me at all. You can't make the payment, you can't process the payment or try to process the payment. But you can, like, it just didn't make sense. I was just like, this is the most stupid thing that I've ever seen or even heard of, for that matter. So I was like, all right, you know what, guys? I'm just going to I'm just not gonna let this get the better of me. So I tried reaching back out to them because now I have my other question is, why can't I get on Kick? And they were like, well, you need to make your payment. I'm like, I understand that, but before that, I was still not able to stream to Kick. And they're like, oh, well, try disconnecting and reconnecting. Okay, well, okay. So I did it. It didn't work. It did not work. And I'm mad, guys. I am at the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't know what the problem is. I couldn't figure it out. I was getting really upset. So finally, I'm able to go live because they have to wait for the automatic process to go through on the card. And I'm like, they do it every 2 days. Well, what had happened is at that time, my other card that I had, I actually canceled because I got a weird notification that there was a subscription that was getting paid for that I did not even I never opened, I never made it, I never ever once made that subscription. So I had to cancel that card and get a new one. When I got the new one, I never updated it. So I just didn't even bother. I didn't think about it because everything is so automatic these days that to me it just was a no-brainer, like, oh, it's up in my phone, it'll go through, blah blah blah, everything's connected pretty much through, people's phones or their computers or any of that nowadays. And I was like, oh, I just didn't think about it. And when I went to go process and like think about it, I'm like, that was the only thing I can think of. And I couldn't, of course, see what card I had on file. For some reason, it did not show me not even on my monthly statement, which I thought was weird. It just showed that it was a card payment. Didn't give me like a last 4 digits or nothing like that. So I was like, that's bizarre. So I was like, all right, this is fine. No big deal. I'm moving on. Got that updated, try to connect the Kick. So I'm trying to figure this out and I'm getting frustrated and I'm like, you know what? I'll deal with it later on tonight after I'm done streaming because that's obviously something I'm not going to be able to do right now. So I get off the stream and I go and, get the kids' plates made and, be productive, be a productive adult. And I was like, all right, well, we get back on. And right before I logged on, I was a little late to log on, but I thought I figured it out. So I disconnected and I reconnected Kick. And when I reconnected Kick, there's a part where you have to authorize it. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I never authorized it. So I could have been live the whole time had I just thought about it and authorized it. That made me feel so stupid. So I got that figured out. And oh my gosh, you guys have literally no idea. So I'm like, okay, I think everything's going smoothly. Everything's taken care of. Outlaw, we got the new capture card. We got everything dialed in. Internet's dialed in, we think. We think that's dialed in. We think the internet's dialed in. We think that the Streamlabs is all, dialed in. Everything is ready to go. And then the computer, the laptop crashes. So it has to be completely just corrupted. It was just done. And we're like, oh my gosh, guys. We were so just... He's like, it's fine. It's no big deal. I'll just record it and upload it. Which, more power to him. Because honestly, guys, I was so upset for him. You have no idea. I was so upset. Just for him. I mean, how frustrating we get. We get almost everything we think dialed in. And then, boom. Something else. And I'm like, guys, what in the world? What in the actual world is this? So we have to reboot. He has to. I didn't have any part of rebooting it. Not because I didn't want to, but because I've been so over all the things because we had to get the new capture card. And we had to get like just a bunch of things it's been one thing after another. And I'm just like, okay, there's got to be an easier way of doing these things, life cannot be this difficult. So ultimately I was like, all right, it is what it is. I'm not that mad at it. This is something that it's just a hill we're going to get over. So we climb over that hill and we get to another issue and we're like, we're going to climb over that hill, we're going to get to another one and we'll solve it as we go. So that happened that was just like this weekend. Just this weekend. So we were kind of lightweight annoyed this weekend. And then we get into the matches that we had played. And guys, let me tell you, we had loss after loss after loss after loss after loss. And then finally, a miracle happened. And I was like to the point where I wasn't like done with Apex, but I just did not feel like playing. And Friday, if you guys had joined me on the live, then you would have known I was exhausted. I could hardly keep my eyes open. I was so out of it. I was not talkative. I had no energy. I had nothing that I wanted to say. I was out of it. I was so out of it, so tired, and I just wanted to go to sleep. And we managed to pull a few games and like play for about an hour and some change. But after that, guys, I was done. I was out. There was no more, anything going on. I wanted to go to bed. I was not playing no more. So that was the thing, So that kind of happened and I was like, all right, Then I was like, Saturday will be better. No, Saturday was worse because we lost and lost and lost and lost and lost the whole time after we even started up the game to the point where I really just didn't even feel like playing. I was like, it's not that I didn't, I don't enjoy the game. It's that I just didn't feel like playing and losing on repeat. And I was like, there's got to be a different game. There's got to be something else we could play. Like, in the times when it's like we're just losing constantly. And also, I just don't want to be like on the same stream over and over and over again. So I'm like, maybe we could figure out something else, to kind of broaden things. So I've been doing a lot of digging and a lot of researching and a lot of, you know, things that I would like to maybe do. And I have 2 games in mind, and one of them I downloaded, but I don't know. I don't really like the game. It's Overwatch, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm not an Overwatch fan. I tried a couple matches, and I was like, maybe it'll get better if you're playing with people that you know, but it's just kind of boring. I don't know. To me it wasn't that entertaining, and it's just so like it's floaty and more like open, but I don't know. I don't like it. I tried to like it. I'm really trying to, and I'm maybe if my account level is a little bit higher and I'm not just getting like, you know, lame lobbies or something, it might be a little more entertaining for me, but really at this point I can't really say I'm a fan of it. And I just hate to say that, but I don't know. I'm currently just not a fan of it. So, I hope that maybe I'll find something that I'll like a little bit more, but at this point, I'm not real certain that I care for, I'm not real certain that I care for, that game. Maybe I'm just playing it wrong, maybe I'm not playing with enough people that I know, but at this point, I don't know. So I might consider something different, like I might look at a different game. I'm not 100% sure what I want to play. I know I would like another Battle Royale game, something similar to what I am currently watching, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Overwatch. I'm more of like I would like the Battle Royale sort of game. I would like I liked the freedom of that, and now I'm just kind of like, I don't know. So if you guys have a recommendation of another game that might be pretty cool for us to play, I would definitely appreciate that because at this point, I'm kind of out of ideas, and I think I have another game in mind, but I have to kind of check it out to see if it's something that I would even like to play. So I have to kind of check that out at this point. I have to wait. So if not, then there's that. I'm not sure. But on that note, I can definitely say that it's not, it's just not been easy for me to find another game that I want to watch or play. Because at the very moment in time, there's just nothing that is appealing that stands out. And like I said, I would definitely play like another VR game, but I gotta find one that I would like, and I don't think Overwatch is gonna be it. Like, I do like the animation on it, but it's just a very animated game and it's not very thrilling, you know? So, I don't know. If you guys have recommendations, please don't just feel free to drop them in the comments for me because I would like to find, and it would also has to be kind of like a two-person shooter game. Something that would be like, sorry, I'm replying to somebody in the chat. Watsonberry, it looks like I just wanted to say, yeah, I'm, it's going, and I noticed that you hit the follow button and then you unfollowed, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But, I mean, it's going. I do appreciate you joining the stream and everything. Streaming's actually been pretty good. I can't say that it's been awful, and I have not been streaming for very long. So it's been a very short period of time that I've been streaming. I would say I kind of started in the end of April. Well, end of March. So the very end of March, beginning of April, I started streaming, and I was streaming like 3 days a week. And now I kind of try to stick to like 4 days a week and random lives. So I'd go randomly. So 3 days solidly I can stream is usually Saturday, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and then sometimes I can get away with doing like a Monday or Tuesday stream, Wednesday. I try to stream at on like that. Like I try to stream on Wednesdays for sure in the evening. I try to set it for 6 or a little bit later. I might have to change the schedule on that because I've noticed at 6, it's kind of like I realized the error in my decision at setting it for 6 o'clock because 6 o'clock is around the time that dinner is ready and dinner has been completed and it's ready to be served. So I try to get on the stream. Most of the times, not every time is this guaranteed, but most of the times I get off kind of early. I'm trying to like go through editing. And for me, or if I'm not editing, then I have other things to take care of, like with my house, with my kids, with my cat, with the dog, with like something is going on. So we're constantly like there's constantly something going on. So like streaming is kind of the thing that falls last, and that's during the weeks that I have to work because I have a short time once we get the kids to bed and we get on. So that short period of time is something that we try to do and try to get on and try to get, things moving around and whatnot. But it's so hard to guarantee that we'll be on at 6. So I realized the error of my schedule and I have to go back and correct it. I'm really going to have to sit down and think about like what days we could stream other things, another game, what times, and so on, because obviously I can't dedicate all day to a stream. We can't. It's not something that I can do, or even Outlaw, he can't do it either. So, because we have so much that goes on during the week. So, as of the current time and like current what's going on around and everything, like it is just we're just trying to do things, we're trying to get the stream off the ground. We're trying to get the equipment and everything we run into something and we're like, okay, yeah, it works, and then boom, something else needs to change. And then we're like, oh yeah, that worked, boom, something else needs to change. And I guess had I ordered or had we got a different laptop for the streaming, it probably would have been fine. But being that that's not what we thought about, and that's not like anything we did wrong, it was just, honestly, I was the one that told Outlaw, I was like, hey, and when I was like looking into this and going on Streamlabs and whatnot, it was like, it recommended something. Oh, I asked Outlaw, I was like, hey, what kind of laptop did you order? And he was like, oh, I ordered this laptop. And I was like, oh yeah? And he was like, yeah. I was like, what browser does it have? He was like, oh, it has this browser. And I'm like, oh, that's not going to work, because from what I read on Streamlabs, and it says that it doesn't fully work on Chrome, Google Chrome. So it does have like features that do work, but you can't download it or something using Chrome. It has to be Windows. Or it has to be like an Apple computer, Mac or whatever. So I'm like, but those are the only two that it will like download to, and it has to be a Windows i5 and better, or i5 and newer, or it has to have a minimum of like, I think it said 8 RAMs, but I could be wrong. It could have been less. It could have been like 4. I think it was 8, minimum of 8. I can't remember, but if you do have Streamlabs, you can just look at it. I guess I don't know exactly where to find it. So that's kind of what, has gone on. So since then, the computer has had some issues. It crashed, it corrupted, whatever it did. I don't know, but it just did. And it's so annoying because we're always constantly like trying to get things done the right way and try to make sure it's all done. And I really did believe it was all done the right way. Hey, welcome to the chat. Don't forget, if you're new here, to please like and share. Hit that follow button, because, I know this is like, I have the background as Apex, and but I'm not playing Apex right now because I'm just doing my just chat, which is something that I do on Mondays. I try to, at least. So essentially, like, that's kind of been our issue. Like, we have had one thing happen after another, after another, after another, and we've just been fed up with it, and we're tired, and we're just like, oh my gosh, why? Why is this even a thing? Like, how could this be? How could that be another thing? How could there be something else going on? So I was like, whatever. We're just gonna run with what we got, and if we can't, then I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. So I do hope that, you guys, I'm sorry. And again, like, I can't thank you enough for your patience and, understanding. And for those of you that weren't here during that time, I hope it doesn't get like that again. And like, you guys also, the ones that were following me, the people that were and kind of have followed the situation with the cat, I am going to try to upload a picture of the cat, I might actually just do like a side live so you guys could see my cat, because it was like, I want to show you guys so you guys could see. Hold on, let me see if I can start sharing chat. I can't do it, I don't think. I'm trying to see if there's not a way that I can upload something so you guys can see him and like what I'm constantly talking about, because it is definitely like one of those things that I wish I could show you. Like, that's why I would like to just have my face create and send an update. Okay, so I could send you guys a picture of him. So my cat that has been having the issues that he's having, I have the hairless cats, and I have 3 of them, and one of them is, so I'll upload a picture because it is kind of going with what I was talking about, and I have been talking about, so you guys kind of understand what happened, and that way you can see and sort of get the idea. Okay, so in my story, I'm gonna, I guess, post it to my story. So the front paws are normal color, and his back paws are kind of like that blue. So you guys can see that, and you guys can kind of understand what I have been talking about. So there's this thing that happens with cats, and I get, it can happen. It happens more in males than it does female cats. And so where his paws are like that kind of a blue tinge, I just shared it in my story. So if you look at this, click on the story, then you'll see his front paws are kind of that blue tinge, and his back paws are that kind of blue tinge, and his fronts are just normal. So you could see that that is what they call fate, and it's where when a blood clot actually forms, and when the blood clot forms, it can cause like certain damage in the it can cause certain damage. And actually it says I could do stacked, so let's see if I can't add a picture. So it's when a blood clot forms, it gets sent from the heart to some artery, the thrombosis artery, and it cuts off the blood supply to their rear end. And there's no telling the amount of damage that it can do, or what it does, or what it has done, until you get them to the vet. And once you get them to the vet, then you can kind of then determine how much damage has been done, and if it's something that can be saved, or if it's something that can be changed. If it can't be reversed or anything, then they have recommendations of what they are going to do. So I did post in my story again. If you guys are new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, I just posted a clip about it as well. So, anyways, fortunately, we were able to get him to the vet, and he came out with a better prognosis than most cats. So, we kind of have been busy with him and that because there's been a lot of things that we've had to like get for him to keep him from getting injured and keep him from like, you know, further injuring himself. So there's been like that, and then taking care of his needs because he has needs now. We have to take care of those needs because we are his caregivers, right? Just like your kids, or your dogs. He does require his certain needs. It would be like having a dog that was, couldn't use their back end all the way. Like he can use some of it. I'm very thankful for what he has gotten back, and that is the movement and some movement in his rear leg. I want to say it's his left leg. He has gotten a little more where he is standing on it and he's trying to use it to walk. So like he's trying to push off of it and walk and trying to push off of it and walk. And that is progress because before like he was trying to do that, his back legs were folded out and like dragging, and he is trying to use it. So that to me, and it's obvious, very obvious that he's starting to get feeling in his paws again because he's been chewing his feet because I assume they itch. And being somebody like myself that has like issues where I have carpal tunnel and your nerves are affected by carpal tunnel. I can say that I understand what that itch kind of feels like, and it's kind of annoying. So that's what I think is going on with his legs. He's starting to get some feeling and they're itchy. And when your nerve regenerates, if you've ever been pregnant and had a C-section, then you would know too. Like when those nerves start to come back in your stomach and you just start to feel that itching. Yeah, or even surgery in general. You start to feel itching and stuff. If they've had to go real deep, you can bet they've cut through some nerves to get there. So that is definitely what he's feeling. There's not really like sort of guaranteed fix or how much it's gonna fix, but all we could do is take care of the needs as he needs them, and that's what we've been doing. So we've been really focused on that. We've been having internet issues. We've been having, just things like life. It's just been crazy. So that is kind of the general basis about what's happened. And that's kind of why we haven't been live, and the lives that we have had and the frustration behind our lives, like it's just been that, so it's just been kind of chaotic and sad and hard and everything. And then, we've had family emergencies where I've had to cut the stream because I've had somebody call and you know, need my help immediately. And especially like at odd hours of the night when I'm getting a phone call, especially, I tend to really think about that. Like, oh yeah, I better answer this because this is probably important. So that's something that I do just want to say, like, I know. I understand the frustration behind it. And I understand that, it seems like we're just kind of like, oh, blowing things off, but we're not. We've just had a lot of little issues in between that have had to get resolved. And it's not it's not always just a simple like, oh, we'll just do this and it'll get fixed. It's not like that. Not all the time. And then, I mean, these are just like little things here and there that we've been dealing with, and that coupled with, this new update. So I do want to touch bases about the game again because I was on the other stream when and I'll probably end up just cutting that portion of the video out because it really was irrelevant to the game. So Outlaw and I have won 3 matches, guys, back to back. Okay, so last night I posted it in my story. I don't know if it's still there, but I could repost it if you guys want to see it. Super proud of it. But I won a game last night that was the most unreal clutch ever, and you could go on my YouTube, or you could watch it on Twitch on here. If you're watching me on Kick, I posted it on Kick. But if you don't follow me on TikTok, then this is the time to go over to my TikTok and follow me and watch it because I did 2 edits to it because it was just that good. Outlaw is going to be editing it for me or on his point of view so you guys could see exactly like what happened because I didn't get it clipped back far enough to really like thoroughly understand the gravity of what happened. So like you could see in the video like I have his card, right? But it didn't show how I got the card. It didn't show that. So like I kind of felt like it just didn't give it enough justice. So I did, however, like I felt kind of defeated on that, I kind of felt that was crummy because I needed to like go further back and get the video of me like how I got the card. And then I dropped this respawn beacon and then I have people fight like literally in front of me and behind me and they run past me and how they didn't see me is the most wild part of that whole situation because you're like they didn't see me. Like I literally just dropped this respawn beacon right here and they just ran right past me. They didn't hear it or nothing. But it just teaches you like right there that you guys need to pay attention like when you're playing these games, guys. Especially on Apex, like 100%, guys. Because you would have heard that. You had to hear that. And then let's not talk about the green flashy thing that's just flashing while you guys are like, I'm surprised they did not all just stop and turn around and start killing me. I'm just surprised. And then for us to win on a default, like on a premise of a respawn, because I was already low health, I was gonna go down and I didn't have a lot of options. And then I did that, and then it was just like boom, right there. Like right there. And I was like, wow, that just shows the like I am sure we're getting reported. Somebody reported that. They were like, somebody's hacking and cheating. But no, it was because I dropped that respawn and I had a mobile respawn beacon on me and I knew Outlaw would have had one on him, but I couldn't remember if he had one. I didn't think he did, but if he did have one, but when I registered that I had one and it was there, oh my gosh, guys, you have no idea. I was ready for it. I was like, yep, this is happening and now. So that was like the most clutch thing I've ever done. And so that happened and I'm just like, you have no idea how proud I was of that situation. So that happened, and then let's see what else happened. I feel like there's so much more that has happened this week. But I feel like that last week drug by, like, not the weekend. Weekend seemed like it flew past, but like anything like from Monday to Friday, it was just slow. Like it was the slowest thing. And then I just, I think, I hate to say it, but I think I'm definitely gonna have to, um, I'm definitely going to have to, sorry, I just was looking, I got another comment. Uh, Probably play another game just because that way I can get like more viewers and more people to entertainment and things like that. But I'm just having a hard time figuring out what I want to play because I don't want it to be the wrong game, and then just be like, ugh, nobody wants to watch that type game. And I know it's about us having fun too. Like I just don't want to make it too much of a not fun. Want it to be fun for us and want it to be like one of those things that you guys enjoy and we enjoy, because if we're not enjoying it, you guys probably aren't going to enjoy it. And I would go back to Ark normally. I would say, yeah, sure, but the problem that I have with Ark is that now I'm going to have like a live server, and I'm going to have to from that I'm gonna have to
stop by the night market.
what's it called? I'm gonna have to find another survival game that is both console compatible. So, like, I could play with Outlaw on PS5 without renting a server or buying a server or something. Not because I don't want to buy a server, but because I just don't want I just don't want to purchase something else for it to not be something I'm gonna enjoy playing for a while. So if you guys again, I said, if you're following me on Kick or you're following me on Twitch or you're watching this video and maybe you're not even following me, drop a game, any game, another BR game. I tried Overwatch. I'm not a fan of. I don't know. I have a hard time wanting to go back to Fortnite. I don't really want to play Fortnite, especially right now because it is Star Wars season and I am not interested in another Star Wars game. But I do want to talk a little bit about my progression as an Apex player. I know you guys complain to me all the time, and I get it. I have bad aim. And it's not even so much my aim, it's more or less my hands that are having the issues with the aim. And it's because like I'll want them to go left and like they go left, but they kind of like go down and left, or like they just don't. I don't have good control. So now I do want to mention before we go back, I did not play any seasons up until I think like season 23, like the end of season 23 maybe. I'll check 22, but it was either the end of 22 or the end of 20. Might have even been the end of 25, but we'll check, okay? So I didn't play any ranked because I couldn't figure out. Remember, I was talking to you guys earlier about the challenges and like getting to understand them and having a hard time understanding. So I did not play any ranked. So I did not play in 21, as you could see. No games in 21 at all. Never had the reason to want to download it. 22. Did not play any games at all. So this will give you guys an idea of how long I've actually played. So 23 in Shockwave. Did not play. Oh, that's 22. So in 23 from the Rift. I did not play any games in 23 at all. In 24, Takeover. No games. Okay? Nothing. You guys could see right here. Nothing. In 25, Prodigy. I think I played maybe one game. No, I didn't even play any games. I didn't even play in Prodigy. Let's go to 26. Showdown. This is when I started playing. Again, I didn't play very often, but I did play a little bit. And it was like maybe I'd pick it up like I've maybe played a few games a week, maybe. Like, how many games did I play that season? Top 13. So I played 36 games that season. So I maybe played a handful of games. I played 36 games and I won 2 times that season. And now you have to think I also played it at the end, so I didn't play very much. But my longest win streak was 1, teammates revived 9 times, teammates respawned twice, assists 18, and 11 knockdowns. I had way more assists. My highest kills in that game was 3. Okay? That was not a lot. Deaths. I died 47 times, guys. 47 deaths that season. Okay? Now, let's go to, this is what, 20, I was in Showdown? No. Was that Showdown? Hold on. Yeah, that's Showdown. And I think you guys could probably tell, maybe it doesn't give me the option to look at like, that I could show you that I played just Split 2, I don't think. Season kills 8. Yeah, it doesn't give me like the, but that whole damage I did that season, as you could tell for most of you, that's not a lot. So, in Amped, okay, this is when I started to play, like, I played 125 games in I don't know how many days normally the seasons progress, but I think it was like probably 45, right? That's what it kind of seems like. So, highest kills I had 3. Longest streak, 1. Teammates revived, 20. Respawned, 4. Assists, 85. I had 101 knockdowns. So I was getting a little bit better here. Okay? My kill death was 0.69. And my deaths, I died 126. So I don't know, like I had 47. The last one, was it? Like 47, I think. So we'll go back real quick. I think I had 47 in Showdown. Yeah, I died 47 times, and then I went from 47 deaths to, in Amped, I had died 126 times. So, like, I died 60 times, and I played 125 games that season, and only won 8 games. Okay? I placed top 5 65 times. In season before, again, I wasn't playing very much. I only placed top 5 13 times. So, out of 36 games, 13 times. So that's not very many That's not very good, like, in my opinion. Now, in 28, this is when this is like now, my now. And this is like how many times I've played, like, which isn't maybe necessarily impressive for everybody, but this just shows you, like, yes, I need to work on my aim. You're right. I'm not going to admit that I'm like the best player in the world. I never once said I was. But in 28, this season, this is my new count. I went from seasons top 5. I went from 65 to 741. 109 season wins. I have season games 1,400 and some odd games. I don't know. 494. So less than 1,500 games, almost 1,500. I have 109 wins, and my win rate is 7.3% when before it was like nothing. And I played both Split 1 and Split 2, and I can go back and show you the badges as well that I didn't get. My highest damage in a match was 1,942. My season damage was 387,443. Average damage per match is 259.33. And I've had a total number of kills was 6. Total number of knockdowns 1,283. 917 assists. 3 win streak and a teammate revived 543 times, and 118 respawned. So that right there should show you guys something about when I say, like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm not the best player in the world, but I, however, do progress, and I've been progressing. And as this should show you guys something, like, my progression has gone up, and like this is my progression, because I think this is just in my whole career. So if that doesn't tell you guys, like, how well and how much I've progressed, then I don't know what would. But that right there, to me, from the beginning and like barely playing, then to where I played a little bit more, like, I would say still a little less than 50% I did play. And then to like full blown, this is pretty much the only game I do play aside from like Fortnite on the occasion. I'm going to tell you guys right now, that right there should show you everything you need to know. Like, yes, I have my kill death rate is 0.38. But also I do want to mention that I have gotten a little like more comfortable, and I have gotten to the point where, like, I am more of the decide the fight before I fight. Sorry about that. The dogs and stuff are coming in, so it's getting kind of loud. So I have more. So I have more of. So between Outlaw and myself, I want to point out that I feel like, in my own opinion, knock it off. Sorry, it just got really loud and I wanted to mute the mic so you guys didn't have a bunch of dogs barking and stuff in your ear. So, I want to say that I have more of the, if it was between Outlaw and I to decide, or like say one to another, I would say that of the both of us, who has the which team we should push sense, it's probably me, because I try to strategically plan the team to push. Because like, and he's just like, he hears it, sees it, he's pushing it. I have like more of the, okay, I kind of, not that I don't want to help, but I kind of have learned over the times playing with him and stuff that if you go into the game, like, I cannot guarantee that I'm going to be able to help clutch a fight and win it. I try to determine if it's going to be something I can do. So, here's her tablet. So, I don't push a fight unless I feel comfortable pushing that fight. If he feels like he's confident to push that fight, then I let him go for it. Like, because I'll just kind of sit back, and if I if I hear him like start to go down or something, then I start going. I start running, and I just start going the other direction. It's not because I want to run away from a fight, but it's because if we're going to possibly have a chance at winning that game, 100% I want to try to win. I don't want to try to lose. So I want to make sure that if one of us goes down, that somebody else can get to a different location. Like, and, win. One of us can get a respawn off, which I'm really excited for this new season, because, guys, that is so exciting to see, like, oh yeah, they're going to have this new character. And I don't know how I feel about it, because I won't know until I actually play it or actually experience it. But I do want to say that it is exciting. I'm kind of upset that it's a skirmisher and not like an assault legend or something. But it is what it is. It's not like the end of the world. But fight sense, I would say it's probably me on picking and choosing the battles. I try to pick and choose the correct battle. When it's a good time to push and when it's not. And then, like, I always tend to fall into the when it's not category. And because, like, normally I'll hear the fight start, and then as soon as the fight starts, it like nearly stops as soon as I'm like there. And then I'm like, oh shoot, because now they're healing. And I'm like, great, I had all this chance to come and push this fight, and now here I am. I'm stuck with my, you know, with myself just out here, like, trying to fight, and I know it's not gonna go the way I want it to go. So that's kind of like the issue that I have. I have a hard time pushing just every fight I see, because every time I do that, it ends up as a result of me, getting knocked and going down. And it's not that I understand that's part of the game, but to me, that's kind of like a big problem, because I know, like, I confidently know, and I can ask Outlaw real quick, almost confidently can say that it's more than like a 70% chance that I'm going to get the respawn or get you revived. There's like a pretty high probability that I'm going to get that. Especially if I play altar. If I don't play altar, it does go down. But if I'm playing altar and I'm actually, placing my nexus and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I have the chance to do that, I am more than likely, like, about 70% chance, if not maybe a little higher, and I'm not tooting my horn here, but it's almost guaranteed I'm going to get that reboot off. And that's in almost any battle royale game. If there's a chance to reboot or respawn, or even like my survival, and like there's multiple people that I play with that can confidently say that I do, however, get that respawn or that reboot. So I do try very hard, and I pride myself with that too, because I'm like, yep. And I get very excited about it because I'm like, yep, I did something. I feel more accomplished because I don't get a lot of kills, and I don't get a lot of, like, I don't really run out there and go and chase people around and try to, go after them and stuff. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. But I can confidently say that it's probably about 70%. What would you say? Hello? About what would you say that my average on getting the respawn off?
Oh,
If confidently.
I overheard what you're talking about, and like you said previously, like depending on who you are will depend on the success rate. Like if you're anybody other than Alter or Crypto, it's gonna be pretty unlikely unless you find yourself a replicator. If you're Alter or Crypto, the chances of that will go for like 45% for Alter, which actually is. No, I take that back. Probably like 75% of the time if you're Alter, depending on if it's in Storm or not. And almost 100% of the time if you're Crypto, because, well, Crypto's drone, and almost everything is instant.
Yeah.
Especially a reboot.
Yeah, so if I'm playing like crypto or alter, it's almost, especially crypto, I can almost guarantee escape a situation by going invisible using my drone, or I can almost guarantee, and I can almost guarantee the reboot. Almost. With alter, I can evade a situation pretty confidently as long as I am within range of my void nexus that I did drop. And if I can get through a wall. If I can get through a wall and go like another wall between us without going through it, and I can just go over it or go around a different way and then go through a different direction, guaranteed I'm getting away. Guaranteed. Now, I'm kind of bummed that they are going to be nerfing her from what I've heard. I hope not, but I heard that Ashe is going to get a buff, which she needs like 100%, because like I've complained that her ultimate, it takes so freaking long. Because like I could go through her phase, like, and breathe, like slice this hole, right, and go through it. And granted, like most of the time, not anybody's really going to come through it. Like with Alter, yeah, there's a long chance that there's somebody could come through that nexus at any given time if you've opened the portal. But with her, like, I don't see a lot of people go through it for her, but I have seen people chase them down. With her, with Wraith, yes, I've seen people chase Wraith down. I've done it, going through her portal and getting her. If I'm playing Maggie, I can't necessarily say that I am going to get the reboot off, because she, like, Fuse, Maggie, those are a little bit slower than the skirmishers and my recons. So with crypto, yes, I will get a reboot. I'll get your card for sure, and I will guaranteed get to a respawn beacon and get you rebooted. I'm not so good with these players per se as I am with most of the others, but I mean, it just goes to say, like, show you that I just pride myself in it. I take the time to learn the character, figure out the best escape ploys, and try to figure out like ways to shake people, because I don't want to go down, and I don't want to be the reason that the team dies. Does that make sense? I've been like that since playing Fortnite. I've always been the one to like get to the respawn or reboot van, get the reboot off, get the reboot cards, sneak in and get the reboot cards. I've just been that. Before you could buy them, you had to sneak and grab them. I used to go get them. And I would take my time doing it, and you have plenty of time. But that was kind of like my biggest thing with doing that. It was like it's kind of like my little way of making up for what I lose in the game. Like, I don't get a lot of kills, but I can guarantee get your reboot back. As long as you're a good pusher, and it also depends on who I'm playing with. If I have a team that is a good pushing team, guaranteed, I will safely I'll feel safe enough if I know that somebody can stay alive long enough. I will feel safe enough running out and pushing. But that's just me. Like, people mainly count on, bless you. People mainly count on me to be the one to do the reboots, or respawn. So I don't really do a lot of pushing because that's not what. Oh, excuse you, sir. Did I scare you? He's like, I'm Mimi. I'm tired. So, that's kind of like my thing. So people do kind of depend on me to get that. And I have, now granted, I have lost some too doing that. I have tried to do things and I have failed just like anybody else would or could. But that's just kind of my sort of spin. It's my way of making up for something that I might have lost in a sense. So that's a little bit that's about it. So I showed you guys sort of like, I know we went through it a while back, but I just wanted to go through it again because I've lost a lot this weekend. Um, but we did win 3 back to back, okay? And that right there, yeah, we did it in wild card with a person that we play with. Um, so that was cool. We did do that. Um, but we did it again, just Outlaw and I. It wasn't like a trio, it was just a duo. And we did it 3 times. So I'm probably going to cut the stream here. I just want to say thank you guys for who's viewed my page. Thank you for any new followers I might have gotten. I want to say, um, if you are not, if you're just viewing and looking at the channel, I am planning on playing another game. I just don't know what game I'm planning on getting right now. And then we're going to go from there. But right now, I'm just kind of content with this game. And I'm having a hard time finding something else I'm going to enjoy. So if you didn't drop any comments and give suggestions, then I don't know what to tell you. But I just want you guys to say thank you guys for the new followers that I have gotten, like last night, today, and kind of go from there because and thank you guys for your patience because without you guys, like, we wouldn't be right here where we're at right now without you. And if you're new to the channel and you're not familiar with the situation and what's been going on, then I will publish this so that way you guys can kind of watch it and understand a little bit more of what has gone on in the past and why we're where we're at and what's going on and so on. And just, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys for everything, and I will go ahead and Outlaw and I will be on here. I don't know how soon, but we will be back on in a little while. And happy Monday, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. If I don't see you in a little while when we get back on to start streaming the game, then I will see you guys next time. And if again, if you're new, don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe. And again, it is greatly appreciated. Y'all have a good day and happy Monday. And you guys have a good rest of your week. And